Okay, I'm gonna try to do this in one take, not 11, one. Because my mom, my dad, Katie, like too many people have asked me what I thought about this movie, and the movie is incredible, but I sort of have to perform the whole plot because I don't feel like anyone watching this is gonna ever see this thing, ever like it. It's way too weird. It's way too scary. It's way too violent. It's like way too avant-garde. It's like way too much. So this is just Longlegs. I'm just going to perform Longlegs, okay? Movie starts, and it's like 8 millimeter, 16 millimeter. So like most of the screen is not like there. And it's like old grainy like footage. And this little girl is just like playing in the snow. This is in the Pacific Northwest, like Oregon, Washington. And you just see this car pull up, and you can tell it's Nick Cage wearing a wig, like a really long, like, old lady kind of wig. And he's wearing all white, and he's got, like, white cake powder all over his face to blend in with the snow. And it's that creepy thing where, like, he's there, but he's not there, but then he's like, you know? And he starts talking to this little girl. And it seems as if he's channeling his own grandmother in how, like, it's indescribable. It reminded me of, like, shtick from, like, It's Always Sunny. Like, it's like he's doing a bit, but he's committing to it so hard that it's, like, really funny. And he's like, oh, little girl, it's your birthday. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, right out of the gate. I didn't bring my long legs to wear. And then he just shows his face, like, a huge pop-up scare. Prosthetics, big fake cheeks, like a big crazy nose, like very, like, Twilight Zone, like, just, like, clearly he's just, like, a batshit serial killer. It then cuts to the 90s. The main lady, Agent Harker, FBI lady, I think they, like, kind of suggest that she's a psychic, or at least she has, like, sort of intuition, so, like, I think they, like, kind of, like, go there, but they don't really, like, ever follow that up, so that she can always just kind of sense, like, what house is the one, or who's weird. You know, more pop-up scares where, like, her partner gets shot, that's, like, an unexpected moment, and just, like, more, like, weird, creepy, like, tests and backstory, and her main partner is this, really wonderful, down-to-earth guy who, like, is not in the same movie as everyone else, where everyone else is, like, very heightened or very quiet or very, like... And he's just, like, a dude who loves, like, Seattle Mariners baseball, and he's, like, pissed that, like, no one else likes baseball because he just wants to talk to people about fucking Mariners baseball. And he's, like, going over the case with her, like, all these families died, and it was a big murder-suicide in a cult-type way, and no one was able to figure out how the note from Longlegs, the serial killer, Nick Cage, got into the house, because there's no physical evidence. He didn't touch anything. He wasn't there. No one saw him. No print. Like, there's nothing to suggest that he was ever in the house. But the people in the house, these families, just get convinced to just do crazy murder-suicides, and he always has, like, a note there. And it's straight-up Zodiac code of just, like, weird symbols and numbers, and it's just, like... So it's very much like Zodiac, Seven, Silence of the Lambs, and then, like, modern-day art house horror. And so this whole movie, fun scenes of Nick Cage, like, kind of fucking with the main character and leaving her notes, and he knows her name, and that's weird, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And the whole movie, she keeps calling her mom to kind of, like, update her, and the mom is, like, concerned. She's like, just make sure you do your prayers at night to keep the devil away or whatever. Like, a Christian household, clearly she wanted to get out. And they introduce you to the partner's family, and the wonderful wife, and the little girl who has, like, a birthday party coming up. And the movie is really funny. The whole movie is fucking hysterical. And she, like, invites the Agent Harker. He's like, hey, lady, like, you want to come to my birthday? And she's, and like, this very, like, antisocial, like, very cerebral, like, woman from the FBI is like, sure, I'll come to your birthday. It was hilarious. going to all the crime scenes, trying to find a clue or pattern, and then sort of realizes that maybe there's something to do with the dates of all these murders, because they're all in the same sort of region. And like, is that pattern a triangle? Is it like a 666? Is it like a pentagram? Like, what is going on? Like, what is the clue? Like, what am I missing? And then sort of halfway through the movie, you start to see more of Nick Cage as Longlegs, and his process and his weird, he's obsessed with making human or child-sized humanistic dolls, like creepy girl dolls. And you're like, oh, well, maybe that's how he's targeting these families who always have like little girls who have like birthdays. And he makes them like very realistic and just like, you're never sure if like the eyes are going to move or if the things are going to, you know, like he's dressing them, he's talking to them, and he's singing like 70s songs like Lou Reed, like he loves pop songs, and sometimes he screams the lyrics. He's nuts. And he like shows up to these hardware stores or whatever, and like, cuckoo, 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 I'm a cuckoo clock, and you're just like, what the fuck is Nick Cage doing? Fucking electric. And then the main character goes to her mom's house and is like asking her questions, and like kind of finds out that like maybe Longlegs had visited her as a kid but didn't do anything, and the mom called the police, and it was just like, seems weird. They find a little girl who has grown up, who survived, the only survivor of any of these like murder, suicide, cult rant things. And it's Sally Draper from Mad Men. And she's in like an asylum, and Longlegs has visited her and told her some crazy shit and then left. And in the log just puts like, I was Agent Harker, like that's who came to visit, not Longlegs. And they talk to her, and like she hints that there's like, you know, like he's able to convince people of things. And so they go to like this like barn in the middle of nowhere, like this like kind of like Christian, like very Jesus-centric kind of like family barn. And it's like creepy, and like you can tell like someone's watching them, but maybe, I don't know. And they like dig up like a child-sized coffin with like a big, you know, like holy cross on it, and like they open it up, and obviously there's like a little piece of paper with like a inverted triangle with like a little happy face, like, haha, you figured out the pattern. It's an algorithm for dates on a calendar. And there's like another creepy fake human girl doll that looks very realistic or whatever. So they're like, I mean, it's not I think there might have been body parts, but like the thing isn't a human. It's fake. It's a doll. And they have to like open up the skull, and like there's like more clues and stuff like that. And it sort of becomes apparent that like all of the, like they crack the code, so they read his notes, and there are all these like fun puns and jokes, and it's like very like reminiscent of the Joker in The Dark Knight, in the way that like eventually he gives himself up and he gets caught on purpose and like stuff like that, like kind of like the puns from the Riddler in the new Batman. And but they're all about Satanism. They're all about like Hail Satan and all this stuff like that. And I think the movie then becomes obsessed with the idea that like clearly the main character has been involved in some way, but she doesn't know it. Because I think at first you were like, you know something. How do you know all? Like, you're very good at this. But then I think she's like, how the fuck am I good at this? Like, there has to be an accomplice. Like, there has to be someone involved, like something. And then Longlegs gives himself up, gets arrested. Again, fucking powder cake white makeup, crazy old woman wig. Nick Cage is going berserk for the FBI camera recording him. He's singing happy birthday to Agent Harker, the main character. He's having the time of his life. He is the Joker. It is awesome. Bible quotes, revelation, blah, blah, blah. And he finally gets to talk to her and basically insinuates that like, hey, your mother's involved. And then the camera zooms in on his face, and he goes, "Hail Satan," and then smashes his face into the table, and there's just like his nose and the teeth and blood, and just he kills himself. So like the whole movie, he's just like being weird, and like the way Buffalo Bill was really weird in Silence of the Lambs, singing and just screaming and just being in the, and just fucking just boom, his face just he's dead. So they drive to the mom's house. It's the main character and backup. I'll go talk to my mom. Clearly the gig, the jig is up. The mom was the accomplice. Someone was not telling someone the truth this whole time. I think she wasn't a former nun. I think she just like worked for the church or something. So like that makes sense that she was able to get into these houses. It's like, oh, I trust you. You're clearly a part of whatever. Like, come on in. And then she's the one who will leave the note and then convince them to kill. Like, it hasn't been fully explained yet. But they go, and the fucking backup sitting in the car waiting. And behind her, in the window, is a crazy nun with a crazy fake doll mask with a big shotgun. Chases the mom. It's very tense. It's very bloody. And the mom's got the shotgun to like another fake doll, but it looks like the main character. And she's like, oh no, honey, you don't understand. Like, it's not over. Like, Longlegs is dead, but he's inside of all of us. Like, he's with us forever. And she shoots the fake doll, and then like wispy smoke comes out of the head. And the main character is like, oh, and she faints. And it's like, clearly Satanism is real. Black magic has been a part of this the whole time. Those things are connected. The fucking mom leaves these creepy dolls as gifts for the family. The doll, black magic convinces everyone to kill each other. And it's all about like soul swapping and like Polaroid cameras. And you see like Longlegs talk to the mom and the little girl from the beginning of the movie. And it's like the main character and the mom. And it is a revelation. My theater didn't know what hit them. We're having the time of our lives. It's a real roller coaster of a film. She wakes up and she's in Longlegs' creepy basement where he makes all these dolls. And then she goes up the stairs and then it's like in her house. And like clearly her mom like sold somebody's soul or like made a deal with the devil to like protect her daughter. But like she doesn't remember that Longlegs just lived in her basement and did all this fucking shit for like 30 years. Because of like the crazy voodoo hex. And then she gets like a phone call and it's like, oh, you're late to your partner's daughter's birthday party, which they had set up at the very beginning. So she races over, and of course the partner, hey, come on in, you're late for the party. And she's like, wait, oh, okay. But as soon as they walk into the living room, daughter's got a new doll. The mom is there dressed like a nun with a big shotgun. There's a big empty box. And murder begins slowly. And she's like, you can't do this, mom. And like the husband has to kill like the wife. And then it goes to, boom, drops him. Mom, don't do this. Knife, boom, drops her. Goes to shoot the doll to end it. And she runs out of bullets. And then you sort of like hear like the happy birthday song being sung by Nick Cage, who loves singing this whole movie. And then it cuts to fucking Hail Satan. And it ends with this awesome rock song. And it's so much fun. Oh man, what a film. What a goddamn film. There's so much more going on that I didn't even describe, but it's like super stylish. And it's like they ratchet the tension perfectly. And all the jokes land, and the whole movie, the main partner, the FBI dude, is like a big picture of like Bill Clinton behind him, which is funny because the guy Blair Underwood is his name, he's black. So it's this like fun, like, yeah, progress, Clinton. And like the whole movie, he's always like behind this desk and frame with Bill Clinton. And then at the end of the movie, it's always like a VHS film of Longlegs with his fucking powdery white face. And I'm like, is there like symbolism going on here? Is there like more thematics or whatever? Or I got to see it again. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I hope you enjoyed the performance. And yes, you will be seeing memes and clips of Nick Cage just singing and dancing with the hair and the crazy prosthetics. And Longlegs is incredible.